they are paid at least the minimum wage. In terms of minimum wage, it is currently at rupees 7,000. The government of Sindh strongly believes that this is way too low and it has to be increased. What we are proposing is the procedure to do this is through the tripartite arrangement under the law where the employer, the employee and the government sit together. We will strive to get the maximum increase in the minimum wage, and inshallah this will be done in the month of July. So in addition, what we are proposing is that the Workers' Welfare Fund increases the grant for workers, the death grant for workers. The grant which goes to the family of a worker who died from rupees 700,000 to rupees 1 million, and the marriage grant to be increased from rupees 200,000 to rupees 500,000. In line with our government's inclusive policies, we have proposed to enhance the monthly rate of special conveyance allowance from rupees 4,000 to rupees 6,000 to the differently abled employees. This measure will have an additional financial impact of rupees 114 million. This initiative aims to provide meaningful support to historically underprivileged segment of the society, ensuring greater accessibility and dignity in public service. So the government of Sindh has fully cleared all outstanding pension dues of civil servants who retired on or before June 30th, 2025 with a financial impact of rupees 35 billion during the current financial year. This province-wide resolution executed within the current financial year reflects the government's steadfast commitment to welfare of its employees and sets a new benchmark in public sector financial governance. So I will talk about some tax and non-tax relief included in the budget. So we are proposing that 5 levies be completely removed from the next financial year. These include the professional tax, which affects salaried people, so we are giving a relief to the salaried people, the cotton fee, the entertainment duty, so that cheaper entertainment can be provided to our citizens. The local cess is also proposed to be abolished, and so is the drainage cess. In addition, the yearly tax rate under the Motor Vehicle Ordinance for commercial vehicles is being reduced to mere rupees 1,000, giving much needed relief to transporters and goods carriers. There is also a proposal to end requirement for third-party insurance for motorcycles, which has been difficult to enforce and causes problems for many motorbike users. Along with these changes, more tax and fee reductions are being proposed to give further relief to the public. These include cutting the mutation fee and sales certificate fees by 50% from rupees 1,000 to rupees 500. The cost of certified copies is also being reduced by 50%, and the fees for solvency certificate and Yeshish certificate has been proposed to be lowered from rupees 1,000 to rupees 500. In addition, it has been proposed that stamp duty on third-party insurance of motor vehicles to be set at only rupees 50, making it cheaper and easier to follow rules. Sir, the Sindh Revenue Board is from the next financial year introducing a negative list system. This is as per the National Fiscal Pact with the 4 provinces and the Federation have signed and is in line with the IMF requirements. So from now on, there would not be a positive list of taxable services, but a negative list of services which will not be taxed. Under the existing law, all major services are taxable and a smaller segment of services is not taxable. This situation creates disputes regarding taxability of services, which leads to unnecessary litigation of the problems for taxpayers. Therefore, the decision is being made to transform to negative list regime by taxing all services, but at the same time taking care that essential and social services are kept exempt and that a specific part of new services is subject to reduced tax. Further, to protect small businesses, those with annual turnover below rupees 4 million will remain exempt from payment of sales tax. Among other facilities and reliefs introduced by the Sindh Revenue Board, proposed by the Sindh Revenue Board under the Sindh Sales Tax Service, the rate of service presently subject to 10% is being reduced to 8%. To ensure general public welfare and to promote third-party insurance vehicles, the rate of sales tax on such insurance is being brought down significantly from 15% to 5%. The exemption threshold for restaurants and caterers is being increased from annual turnover of rupees 2.5 million to rupees 5 million. Other procedural simplifications are also being introduced, such as ease to opting for reduced rate services. Also, these steps are meant to create a tax system that is simpler, fairer, and more helpful for the people, while also boosting economic activity and improving access to public service. So we are also proposing relief for lawyers, fraternity, and journalists. A provision of rupees 800 million is being kept as grant and aid for Sindh Judicial Academy to gear up its activities of grooming, imparting training to judicial officers, for lawyer, bar associations and legal aid societies, and for endowment funds for various specific and deserving journalists in Sindh. So for minorities, a provision of rupees 1 billion in grant and aid has been proposed for financial assistance, medical treatment, scholarship, dowry, jahez, marriage, repair and maintenance and construction of worship places, and non-Muslim communities. Rupees 250 million has been kept for completion of work of repair and maintenance of buildings and structure of non-Muslim communities. Further, a grant and aid of rupees 50 million has been kept for welfare of poor and deserving populace of Hindu community. In view of surging inflation and increase in cost of living, Government of Sindh, I have already spoken about the minimum wage, so I won't repeat this. Sir, another thing that I wanted to mention is that currently the salaries of the members of the Provincial Assembly are amongst the lowest, as compared to the other three provinces and the National Assembly. We are not increasing the salaries now, but in the month of July, we will rationalize the salaries so that due increase is given to the members of the Provincial Assembly. So in conclusion, I want to state that Pakistan stands at a crossroads today. We have untapped resources, unlimited potential. The key is effective utilization of resources, and utilization is only possible when we all come together for one goal, the progress of Pakistan in a developed Sindh. The roads we take may diverge, Mr. Speaker, but the destination must remain the same. A peaceful, progressive and prosperous Pakistan. And it is towards this destination that the Pakistan People's Party has always steered the people firm and steadfast. Together, we can and must continue to take our provinces and our nation on the path of progress and prosperity. And I am confident that Almighty Allah will guide us in our journey. Pakistan, Zindabad, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।